What is the principle that drives lasting success? Keep showing up. Whether it's tending our fruit trees at our house before the critters they claim the harvest, or nurturing a business, a book, or a personal goal, consistency matters. And in a world that glorifies just this overnight success, overnight wins, well, it's easy to overlook the quiet discipline of returning again and again to what's meaningful. But the truth is, real growth isn't built in a moment. It's built in the moments that you choose to keep going. And this episode is a reminder and a challenge to stay committed, even when no one's watching. So stay tuned. This podcast is brought to you by DJ Works Media and HalftimeSuccess.com, offering resources and insights for those at mid-career or the halftime of life. Explore our diverse categories, including courses, coaching, health, music, software, and travel. We're here to help you make this stage of life your best ever. So get our new articles, downloads, and podcasts by signing up for weekly updates at goalsforyourlife.com/newsletter. Now, let's dive into today's episode. There's a simple phrase that holds incredible weight. Keep showing up. Now, I have a real life illustration of this every season as I work in our yard. When our fruit trees are bearing fruit and they are ready, I show up consistently to check them. And if I don't check for that fruit that's done, the birds, the squirrels, and even the raccoons or bears will just help themselves to a bounty of fruit, with the result of a huge mess, as it's usually half eaten and it's rotting. And the same principle, it applies to showing up for our businesses and our personal lives. And in a culture obsessed with these quick wins, with instant gratification and viral success, well, the steady act of continuing to show up, well, it can feel kind of boring, especially for creatives. You feel unnoticed, undervalued. But if you've ever achieved anything meaningful, you've built a career, you've written a book, or you've trained for a race, raised a child, or even made jam from fresh fruit, you already know the truth. Success isn't just about talent, timing, or luck. It's all about consistency, and it's about returning to the task again and again, the dream, the commitment, over and over. So here's an illustration from stocking shelves to NFL stardom. Now, Kurt Warner, he was named Offensive Player of the Year in his senior year of college. How exciting. But he went undrafted in the 1994 NFL draft. He was invited to try out for the Green Bay Packers, but he was released before the regular season began. And then he took a job. He had to work. So he was stocking shelves at a grocery store in Iowa for $5.50 an hour. But he didn't give up. He kept showing up, training, throwing passes, playing in the Arena Football League with the Iowa Barnstormers, and then the NFL Europe. Now, years went by, and then in 1998, the St. Louis Rams gave him a chance as a backup quarterback. And in 1999, their starting quarterback, he got injured during a preseason. And so Warner, he stepped in, and he didn't just play well. He led the Rams to a Super Bowl win, throwing for 4,353 yards with 41 touchdown passes, and he was named Super Bowl MVP. Well, his story now, well, it's legendary. The grocery clerk who kept showing up until the opportunity finally came, and he was ready. And in this episode, we explore what it really means to keep showing up and how it can become your most powerful strategy for long-term growth, fulfillment, and resilience, especially when paired with intentional planning, healthy habits, and a growth mindset. So principle 1, show up with a good plan. Love this one. Showing up without a plan is like setting out on a road trip without a map. Well, you might eventually get somewhere, but you'll waste a lot of time, energy, and gas along the way. A solid plan, it doesn't mean that your days need to be micromanaged or rigid. It just simply means that you've thought about what matters most. And you're aligning your time and your energy to reflect all of that. And it's not about being busy, it's about being purposeful and productive. And here are a few guiding questions for making your daily plan meaningful. And get the article that goes with this. You'll get these questions. What's the one thing I must make progress on today? One. Now, this is about identifying your top priority, the task or goal that it'll move the needle the most. And it doesn't have to be the biggest or hardest thing, but it should be the one thing that aligns with your larger goals. And ask yourself, if I only get one thing done today, what should that be? And this keeps your focus sharp, and it helps prevent you from getting just lost in all of that busyness. And over time, consistent progress on your one thing, it creates true, real momentum. So here's another question. What would make today feel like a success? You want that feeling, right? Even in a small way. Well, this question, it centers around daily wins, those moments that feel productive, encouraging, or fulfilling. Now, it could be finishing a proposal. It could be making that hard phone call and getting in your workout, or just finally scheduling that appointment, maybe a doctor appointment, right? When you define success with intentionality and not just a long to-do list, you create opportunities to end your day with a sense of accomplishment and positivity, no matter what else happens. So here's another question. Where do I usually get distracted? And how can I set up guardrails? Oh, I love this one. I call these bumper pads, just like in a bowling alley, those guardrails. Distractions are often predictable. Oh man, especially for creatives, whether it's checking email too often, scrolling on social media, multitasking, or jumping between tasks. Well, we tend to fall into the same traps. By identifying your biggest time wasters or focus stealers, well, you can build in guardrails and silent notifications and time blocks, app limits, or even physical environments that protect your attention. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness and adjustment. And when you put your plan in with intention, you show up with direction. And that alone puts you miles ahead of most, believe me. So, principle 2, I really like this one. Prepare for tomorrow tonight. There's a secret that high performers, disciplined creatives, and seasoned leaders, they all share. They don't wait for tomorrow morning to decide what tomorrow looks like. They decide the night before. Evening prep might include reviewing tomorrow's schedule or glancing at your calendar the night before that keeps you mentally prepared for meetings, deadlines, or appointments. And this preview, it lowers the anxiety and lets you start the next day with clarity and confidence. I love this one. So here's something that I do, setting out clothes or workout gear. Now, this small step, it removes the barrier in the morning and increases your likelihood of following through on intentions, especially for workouts or early commitments. It's a cue to your future self. We're doing this. And that's a regular habit that I apply, as I usually send my body to work out early in the morning in our back workout area of our home. My body gets up before really my mind really shows up. But I'm ready the night before. So here's another one, making a short to-do list for the morning. So if you write down just 2 to 3 tasks, it'll prime your brain for focus, and it reduces the decision fatigue it gets your morning going before all of those distractions take over. And I still use pen and paper in my calendar. It's a visual and a reminder for me. I also have a virtual calendar, but these I put in a physical calendar. Also, reflect on what went well today, even on difficult days. And the practice helps just to train your mind to notice wins, progress, or even moments of gratitude. And it shifts your perspective to what I didn't do to what I did accomplish. You can also do this in the morning journal. It's a great way to start the day. And I actually do this in my morning journal. I write down those couple grateful phrases that I have. So, and you're not just preparing your stuff, you're preparing your mind and you're telling yourself, well, I'm showing up again tomorrow and I'm getting ready now. So, principle 3, be persistent, not perfect. Now, showing up doesn't mean showing up perfectly. It means showing up consistently. And there's a big difference. Perfection says, I can't do it flawlessly. I won't do it at all. Now, persistence says, I'm doing it, even if it's messy or if it's hard. Now, this mindset shift is crucial. Too many people start strong, but they disappear the moment things get uncomfortable, inconvenient, or just uninspiring, or just too hard. Now, remember, perfection is the enemy of done. And this is especially important for creatives who want every sound, every aspect of their art, or every project to be just perfect. Many of those projects started by creatives, I've known some, they've never been released, right? Which is a shame. Persistence through that uninspiring and comfortable times, that's where the growth happens. So principle 4, this is important. Pay attention to your health. Now, you can't keep showing up if your body is breaking down or your mind is just burned out. Physical and mental health are the foundation of resilience. And if you're not eating well, if you're not moving your body, if you're not sleeping enough, or if you're not managing stress, your energy and focus will suffer no matter how great your intentions are. And sometimes the most powerful way to keep showing up is to just pause, take a break, and take care of the person who's doing the showing up. Now, that's not weakness, that's wisdom. And I suggest taking those short little breaks just to clear the mind. I have to do that. Definitely have to do that. I'm a high achiever. I have to take those breaks. Here's some ideas. Go work outside, work in your garden, or take a short walk, and bring your dog. Read or listen to a book for an enjoyment, just for 15 to 20 minutes. Also, well, just pay attention to your nutrition, and it's easy to grab a sugar-filled snack. Oh, I know that too well. It's easy to grab that in the afternoon, but be aware of the certain sugar drop of energy that will happen. Every time I do that, I do remind myself of that. Now, for getting enough sleep, I find I have to get to bed early enough as my body tends to wake up early, no matter what time I go to bed. Now, every person is different, but find out what works for you and pay attention to your energy levels throughout the day. And make sure you get our free goal setting worksheets. I've put in there a nutritional timing sheet and some other things that will help you. Principle 5, show up with a growth mindset. Wow, growth mindset is one that's so important. And it's one of the most powerful companions to persistence is that growth mindset and believing that your abilities and your potential can develop over time. And when you operate from a growth mindset, failure just becomes a feedback loop for you, not, not equated just with your identity. So instead of seeing failure as a reflection of your worth or your ability, view it as a useful information about what didn't work. And it becomes a stepping stone and not just a stop sign. So challenges then become opportunities to learn. And every challenge, it carries that potential to stretch you, refine your skills, and develop resilience. And when embraced, difficulty then becomes this classroom and not a dead end. Success is measured by effort and progress, not just results. True success isn't always about just hitting the target perfectly. It's about the commitment just to keep moving forward, growth happens in the consistent effort, not just the final outcome. A fixed mindset says, I just can't. A growth mindset says, I can't yet. There's hope. So let's apply this. Showing up is the work. And in the end, showing up it's the complete work, not once and not perfectly, but over and over again. And it's the early morning planner that's open on your kitchen counter, or it's the shoes laid out by the door for your morning walk. It's the laptop booting up for the 351st time or episode of a podcast. It's the journal that you reach for even when you just don't feel like writing. Because it does matter. Keep showing up. And that's where change happens. That's where the breakthrough lives. And that's where you become the kind of person who keeps building and keeps growing and keeps becoming really who you were meant to be with the life and lifestyle that you truly desire. Make sure you connect with us, goalsforyourlife.com/newsletter. You get all of our updates. You get the article that comes with this. The full show notes are with this episode. We have a new book, Power of After. You can see, if you're looking at the video, you can see the visual right behind me. It's an amazing book. Make sure you pick that up. It's in all versions on Amazon. And most of all, just keep showing up. The whole purpose of me doing podcasts is to encourage you to maximize your skills, your resources, and your experience. You have so much to give at mid-career, at the halftime of life. So it's a pleasure always being with you. This is Deborah Johnson, and I look forward to being with you again next time. So bye-bye for now. Thank you for joining us. It is because of our wonderful listeners like you that we keep going strong week after week. We'd love it if you'd share and follow us to not miss a single show and even write a review. You can also find all of our articles, products, and links at womenathalftime.com.